All right, I want to talk about cosplayers and how they are harmful to any geek conventions they come into. And this young lady, Elena Vital, is going to support everything I have to say. Now, I'm going to break it down into a nutshell. Young women come to these conventions to show off their bodies, and then when they're get the attention of these male geeks, they use their social dominance to kick them out just to feel better about themselves. So they're highly destructive. And I want to point out how you should totally reject the sexualization talk or objectification, either one of them, because these women, this is Princess Leia, right? Most of them choose the slave girl costume where they're showing off the most body and where it basically has uh, Princess Leia submitting to the top dog. And even the traditional costume, as you see, this is a traditional costume, but a lot of these traditional costumes, they sexify them themselves because they're not there to be Princess Leia. They're there to show off their bodies, right? Now, let's see what Miss Vital has to say.
Of a few costumes that I used to have when I used to do cosplay, which I don't do anymore. Allow me to explain to you why. The reason why I don't do cosplay anymore is basically because of third wave feminism. I've been a model since
This has nothing to do with feminism. These women who do this, you guys, do you really think that these are all feminists? No, no, this is just the average woman exercising her social dominance.
Age of 6. I would do commercial modeling as a child, and then I took a very long hiatus. When I was about 19 years old, I decided to get back into modeling, and I was doing commercial and promotional modeling. Now, promotional modeling basically entails you getting together with a marketing company, and the marketing company would hire you out to do specific events. And you'd sit on a boat and take pictures with people, or a car, or you'd wear a sparkly dress and point to a car. You know, it's basically being Vanna White for shows. So I went to my very first comic book convention, and I noticed that there were...
This is a comic book convention, right? So this is geeks.
A couple of booth babes, as they call them, hanging out at the con wearing these fantastic costumes. And I was like, I gotta get in on that. So I went to a couple of them and I talked to them, and they told me that they were not hired by any particular marketing company, that they were independently representing themselves, and that they just basically created a fan base for themselves and were now getting gigs independently as specific characters.
Yeah, these ladies are doing it themselves. So they can't even argue someone is exploiting them. They're using their own bodies to get attention and get an easy gig.
And I thought, well, that's freaking awesome. Let me get into that. Because as an actress, there are many roles that I wish I could play, and I will never get to play them. And the ones who get cast for like major roles, like let's say I've always wanted to play Wonder Woman, the ones who get cast for that are already superstars, you know? There's no way in hell that I will ever get cast to play Wonder Woman. But with cosplay, I can cast myself as whatever character I'd like to be. And if I do a good enough job at it, I could still get gigs based on that character. It sounded like a great thing, right? Sign me up. Well, it was fun.
Well, it is a great thing for the girls.
While it lasted, I did work for a couple of websites, and that was pretty cool. But I noticed a little bit of a trend in the cosplay community.
Here we go.
With a lot of the women who they would start crying harassment at cons. Now, it was kind of weird because I've been to a couple of cons, I've been to a couple of comic book events, I've been to a couple of things as a cosplayer, and I never experienced harassment.
Thank you for admitting that, Miss Vital. Of course, because we all know it. Anyone who goes on about harassment at cons is a liar and a man-hater.
And it
By the way, guys, and you've heard it from other male geeks who want to virtue signal and throw other male geeks under the bus. They're disgusting.
actually scared me to hear that these girls were talking about all the things that happen to them at these cons. And they would start posting pictures of guys. Like, this guy's on Facebook. This man is a harasser. He's a pervert. Stay away from him. This man is a pedophile. He's a freak. Stay.
See, now what? See, they're using the pedophile slur, right? So these guys are coming on to grown women, yet they're pedophiles. That should tell you that they're just bold-faced liars right off the bat. Anyone who uses that smear is a complete lowlife.
Stay away from it. And it started scaring me.
And of course, see what they're doing? They're scaring. Why? Because they want to ostracize these guys. For no other reason that women don't like men. I have to tell you that over and over and over again. If women like men, they would never do this to men. Handsome, high-status men do not do this to geeky, autistic girls. They don't.
Well, later on, I found that their definitions of a harasser or a pervert is basically this scenario. You're wearing a thong and pasties at a con. A lonely single guy looks at you and says, "Wow, she's really gorgeous. Let me ask her out to dinner." Most of these guys didn't have the greatest social skills, so instead of walking up to you and saying, "Hey, what's your name? You want to go out to dinner?" They'd kind of stand there awkwardly staring at you. Say, "So, do you want to, or what are you doing after you get off? You want to go get some pizza or something?" And then, you know, that's them asking you out. Now, these guys are not rapists. These guys are not evil. They're not, like, stalking you and following you to your car. They are literally just asking you out in a sort of socially awkward way.
Of course, thank you. Everyone knows this, by the way. Because the guys at con, you know that that's not the way it is. And these guys at cons, by the way, they allow all this to happen. Like, if I was running a con, can you imagine what lack of character I'd have if I was seeing young guys, kind-hearted young guys show up and pay good money, and then as soon as some pretty girl speaks up against them, I kick them out. You have to be a true blue lowlife to do that.
But they're not. They're harmless. And these girls were posting these pictures of these guys on the internet saying, "Watch out for that one, watch out."
Wow. So they're doxing them and harassing them and making false allegations. No consequences. See, if I'm running a con, there'd be consequences for this. They'd be like, "Okay, I need you to prove what happened here. And if you don't, you're out of here." That's what needs to be said and done.
For this one. And then when I actually heard the stories of harassment, I realized that this wasn't real harassment. It was these girls reveling in the drama of, "Oh my God, I'm such a victim. Everybody come and protect me." So I started voicing my opinions on, okay, harassment is one thing. A guy talking to you is not harassment.
Okay, this is what they call a chill girl. I don't think Miss Vital here is really that much better than the average woman. Right. She's just low scale on the hostility. But still, she's going to be punished for being a chill girl, because women hate chill girls. Women who just want to get along with men, right?
And that was a bad idea. I started getting private messages of other female cosplayers who had a hard time with me voicing this opinion. I was called victim blaming. All of those key terms that I later discovered were feminist terms.
It might be feminist terms, but these aren't feminist, right? There's nothing. I don't like the fact that they try to say women aren't like that. This is just a kind of woman. Again, do you think these cosplayers are all feminist officially? I do agree that the average woman is a feminist, because that's where feminism comes from. But I don't think these are card-carrying feminists here, right? So she's trying to protect her own gender. This is why I say that I don't trust any woman, really.
My first time being exposed to it. I'm like, no, I'm not victim blaming because you're not a victim. A guy asks you out for a cup of coffee or says, hey, you look sexy today. That's not harassment. And these gals just wouldn't see that way. And a lot of these fellas,
well, see what I'm doing? They don't see it that way. It's not a perspective. See how they're trying to paint it all the time. It's like they've got this lousy perspective. It's not a perspective. They don't like guys. The average woman, vital, doesn't like men, and they're enjoying abusing these guys because they're sadist. It's an exercise in sadism. Okay.
aren't bad guys, and I made friends with some of them. And then, I would put them on my friends list, and then a couple of gals would send me messages saying, hey, don't be friends with this guy. He's a pervert. And I'm like, no, he's not. I've hung out with him before. He's not done anything. If anything, his biggest crime is that he's not a great conversationalist. He's not a bad person.
These good guys, these nice guys make women puke. These nice guys make women puke. And that's who they target. If these guys were real danger, these women would probably get wet in the pants over them.
He's actually chill. A lot of these guys were suffering from autism. So, of course they're going to be a little odd, but they're not bad people. What is wrong with you? And I straight out said that to all of them. I said, you guys are acting like a bunch of schoolyard bullies. Stop it. The girl.
Thank you. That's exactly what it is. They're schoolyard bullies, right?
Didn't appreciate me, calling them out on their shit. So I was ostracized. I was bullied. There was a couple of other instances, one of which I was called a rape apologist, one of which I was told apparently that because I had sex with my husband after a few drinks, that I was raped and I didn't know it.
No, that's feminist speak, right? Anyone who said that is an actual feminist, right?
All of this crazy crap. They were just saying all of this crazy crap. And I was like, that's it. I've had it.
These guys, the one she's talking about, the official feminists, though, they showed up at these cons, right? So this is what they look like, I suspect, right? This is what they look like. And because they look like this, it kills the stupid idea that they're, let's get you up there. It kills the stupid idea that these women are dyed-haired, ugly women. A lot of them are knockouts, right? I just want to put that out there.
Fuck all you people. I can't take the crazy anymore. So I stopped.
Not the crazy. They do this all the time. The viciousness, the hostility, the malevolence. That's what it is. When women act up, they call them crazy because the insinuation is that women can never actually be bad. To be a sane woman is to be a good person just by dint of being female. That is untrue.
Being a cosplayer, and I do miss it to an extent because there was some coolness, but these people, they get so freaking weird. It just got so...
No, it's not weird. They're vicious. They ostracized you because you didn't ostracize innocent people, just simply because of the way they were born. These are awful people. They're not weird. They're complete assholes.
Stupid, and people started getting into the social justice crap, and a lot of these gals were on Tumblr, so you know how that happens. I got sick of it, I got tired of it, I quit. Yeah, so that's why I quit the cosplay community, but I still got...
Thank you for supporting everything I've been saying. And notice this video was a very important video to me. It doesn't even have 500 views, and it's 7 years ago, right? So 7 years ago is a long time ago. Just goes to show you how long this has been going on. Like, that was her experience, so it was probably been going on for a lot longer than 7 years, right? Exactly. So I'm putting you on my video, Elena, because I want people to get to see this. I want to see more views on this. So we're going to end it here. This is it.